Am I the asshole for letting my roommate's boyfriend swim with us? Hello all, I F26 live with F25 Sarah as well as M27 who's uninvolved. We recently reopened our pool and my boyfriend and I decided to go swimming for the first time since winter. My roommate's boyfriend M25 I'll call Jack was over waiting for my roommate to get home from work. Which is a common occurrence. Jack came out back and looked shocked that the pool was open and asked if he could swim as well. I told him of course and he went and grabbed a pair of basketball shorts and jumped in with us. My boyfriend and I were pretty much just floating and talking and Jack was on the opposite end of the pool doing whatever he was doing. Sarah comes home and immediately asks Jack to help her with something, and I didn't see them the rest of the day. Today, I wake up to a text message from Sarah saying, and I'll copy it, please don't involve Jack with whatever you guys are doing. Especially if it involves a bikini lol. I really don't think it's appropriate. I haven't responded to it yet but I'm just going over in my head repeatedly if I did anything wrong and I really don't feel like I did. Skeptical smiley face. Am I the asshole here? I thought he was wearing basketball shorts not a bikini, so what is her beef? Not the asshole. Your roommate is weird. There was zero indication here that anything sexual was involved. So she is jealous that Jack might like you. Sorry, so sorry. We were swimming. I did not know a bikini was not appropriate when swimming. Next time we're in the pool I'll take it off, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you ambushed Jack, stripped him to his shorts and dragged him into the pool with your Jezebel bikini ways. Maybe you should apologize? For ignoring him while chatting with your boyfriend while wearing swimwear? Or for having a childish roommate who can't handle when her boyfriend goes in the pool when other people are there too? I'm not sure. Obviously not the asshole, but someone else might be. Not the asshole. Sarah has issues. If she expects you to be rude to her boyfriend because she has a problem with you wearing your bathing suit to go swimming, she should tell her boyfriend not to come over until she texts him to let him know she's there. At least you know you must have looked bomb in your bikini. Tears of joy. Person tipping hand. Light skin tone. Female sign. Am I the asshole for listening to music in the car my husband doesn't like after a concert? This weekend, my teen daughter and I went to see Megan Moroney. My husband wanted to come along even though I told him it could be just a girls' night with my daughter and I. He insisted on going because he didn't want us to be out late by ourselves, even though he does not care for Megan's music. So my daughter and I enjoy the concert so much. She was so excited she almost cried from pure joy. Everything was great. Concert ended, we go to our vehicle. My daughter and I are still having a good time, kind of on a post-concert high. I turn one of Megan Moroney's songs on and we start singing along. My husband abruptly turns it off. At first I thought, okay, maybe he just wants some peace as he drives, but he says, turn it on something else. I said, why, we were listening to that. He said, well I don't want to, or someone like that, and starts complaining about how awful Megan Moroney is and how her songs are all man-bashing, etc. I said, whoa buddy, we told you that it could just be a girls' night like you insisted on coming. So we ride home in silence and my daughter is really disappointing. One of our favorite things to do is turn the music on and sing along in the car. Am I the asshole for wanting to listen to my music after a concert he didn't even want to be at? Why in the world are you, as a grown-ass adult, not allowed out after dark? Not the asshole. I think it's time we put that man on the moon. Next time his favorite sports ball is on TV, go turn it off and loudly complain about how shit it is. Fuck that guy. Father. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. First of all, you should be allowed to be out alone at night. Second, if he does insist on coming along, he should stay in his lane and let you have your fun time. He sounds like a complete buzzkill. Not the asshole, but your husband sure is. That sounds really controlling, and him not wanting you to have a girls' night out is concerning. Dad is sending a very bad message to his daughter, that her taste doesn't matter. Not the asshole. Tell him you don't want your daughter growing up and thinking it's okay for a man to treat her the way her father treats her mother. Am I the asshole for insisting that our baby takes my 25F surname instead of my fiancé's 26M? Me, 25F, and my fiancé Arjun, 26M, are currently 5 months along in our pregnancy with our unexpected, but very welcome, first child, a daughter. Relevant to the story, I am white British and he is of Indian descent, 3rd gen in UK. This is a throwaway as I don't want this to be linked to my actual account. We met 6 years ago at university on a group project, where we were sorted alphabetically by surname and the rest is history. Obviously, I'm not going to put our actual surnames on the internet, but they are both 3 or more syllables and begin and end with the same letter, sound. For the sake of the post, say his is Mukherjee and mine is Mulvaney. We have decided our daughter's first and middle names and are looking at the surname situation, which has been heated. I have always been resolute in keeping my surname, and while I always thought I would double-barrel any kid's names, given the similarity and length of our surnames, We both agree it would be really unfair for the kid as it would be a tongue twister that she would have to explain through school. So, I suggested we use my surname as the surname and have his as a second middle name basically on all important documentation, so if he is taking her anywhere it's easier, won't be called up on it. Whilst he said the second middle name was a good idea, he was angry and upset that I want to use my surname, when passing the name down as something fathers do. Thing is, in my opinion, surnames are very linked to families and his family have made it clear that I am not welcome. His parents, despite both being born in the UK, disagree with our relationship and want him to marry another person from his culture. I have only met them about 5 times, due to how deeply unpleasant they are to me, and he has a distant relationship to them too. My parents and brother, 24 male, have been the ones to take us under their wings, be there for him and even offer up our home for a bit when he moved to our city. He is super close to them, and my brother is one of his groomsmen in our wedding next year, and I want to honor them by giving our surname to our child. I want our daughter's surname to represent a place where she, and both of her parents, are always welcome. He says I have a brother, who can carry on the family name whilst he has a sister who has already had kids, and I retorted saying I don't see why that duty should only be for men. I said it's not the Middle Ages anymore, and I am contributing as much money and time into our daughter, am growing and birthing her, and have a family who have supported our relationship and her unconditionally. It became a fight, so I went to my parents, the next town over, where I am typing this now so we could have a breather. They don't know the situation. I get that men have come to expect to have the surname, so I feel really guilty, but I want to carry mine on too. Any advice is super appreciated, as I really don't know what to do. Edit. Thank you so much for your replies. I got a message saying I should clarify the following. The first name is Western. He's had the girl name picked since he was a teenager, and all of his boy names we discussed pre-finding out were Western, albeit pretty international names. The first name was 100% his choice, and I fell in love with it too as I realized it was a variation of my nan's name. Say my nan was called Carol, the name is Caroline. The middle name is Indian. Inta, is your family welcoming of him? Would he be open to taking your family line name on? Not the asshole. The fact that the baby follows the patriarchal line is outdated, I agree. As someone in a relationship with someone with a clunky double-barreled name, big no to that too. However, you might want to consider what his surname means to him, though I do get your point about his family. It definitely needs a calm discussion. How involved is he in other aspects of the name? Girl, if you use both last names she'll be fine. I don't know other parts of the world, but in Latin America we end with 4 last names minimum. It goes name, maybe middle name, dad's first last name, mom's first last name, dad's second last name, mom's second last name, and guess what? We've all learned our names and we survived. Why are you so worried about her having to explain why she has 2 last names? Literally no one will care. You are the asshole a little for this. Does your daughter have English first and middle name? If so, it's possible that he feels his culture is being erased from his baby's life. I would never give my child the last name of the father unless married. Imagine if this relationship ends and you need his written permission to do anything for your child because he has his last name. Don't do it. No assholes here. You're not an asshole for wanting this, and he's not an asshole for having his feelings on this as well. This does need to be sorted out though, and quickly. This may be a situation where there is some kind of hyphenation even if it's cumbersome. Am I the asshole for leaving a party early because no one was talking to me? My friend invited me to her boyfriend's birthday party. I don't really know him well, but I wanted to support her, so I went just because I like her. I showed up on time, brought a gift, and tried to make conversation, but most people already knew each other and were sticking to their own groups. I barely knew any of those people. My friend was busy hosting and didn't really have time to talk. After about an hour of sitting there pretty much by myself and drinking, with only a few polite exchanges, I decided to leave. I messaged her later that evening to wish her a good night, but she responded saying she was disappointed I bailed so early, and that it seemed like I didn't want to be there. Now I'm wondering if I really did something wrong. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You made an effort to go. You made pleasant conversation but were not enjoying yourself and opted to leave. What did she want you to do exactly? She could also have introduced you to some of her friends and tried to include you. I bailed on a birthday party of someone who was once a really close friend. In fact, there were other people I knew there. However, I had been living abroad, and in that time, these people had formed cliques, to which I didn't belong. I tried small talk, moved around, but they were all closed off AF. I thought, fuck this, these were all people in their late 30s and still behaved like it was school, and it also reflected badly on my friend for, well, being friends with such people. I already had a similar experience at her bachelorette and wedding, with her friends being dicks, so I had enough. So bailed and distanced myself. So, no, not the asshole. Not the asshole. Just tell her, you're right. I didn't want to be there because I didn't know anybody and didn't really find anyone to talk to, other than a few polite exchanges. An hour is plenty, and you did try. If your friend wanted to talk to you, well, she had a whole hour. Part of hosting is making sure everyone is comfortable, and trying to integrate them into the group. I'm not saying it always works or that it's all her fault, but she's being pretty ridiculous here seeing how she didn't even try. It seemed like I didn't want to be there. We have a winner. Who wants to stand around being ignored for ages? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Like others have said, own it. Tell your friend you were uncomfortable, felt alone, she was busy and didn't need to be burdened with you only really knowing her, so you bailed. I'm at an age where retirement parties are a thing, now. I find myself attending them and only really knowing the retiree well. I wait, get 10 minutes of well wishes and small talk in, shake hands, make my apologies and go. All this to say, this won't be the last time. Have a strategy for it. I've done this before and think it's best to just say goodbye, wish a happy birthday. And pretend you're going meet someone at a bar or something.